Okay, so let's just get straight into it, okay? I'm going to put 3 games on the screen and you have to tell me what order you think they are played in. You have Star Wars Dark Forces, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Now, if you're like me, you probably thought the game with the 2 in it was the second one. Well,
are they wrong?
I think they're wrong 100%.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Jedi Knight 2 is actually the second in the series, or I think more. It gets a bit confusing. But anyway, this Platinum Trophy video is going to be what they call in the movie business a flashback.
Hello there.
In the sequel to this game, I complained that the difficulty really ruined the game experience. So instead of starting on the hardest, I chose to start on normal just to see if it's more fun. Despite being annoyed that the game stole my part sequences, I was pretty optimistic, and my optimism was rewarded by getting a trophy straight away, as well as a second for finding a secret, and then a third for nearly killing myself. Well, ain't this a good start, huh? Could get used to this. Just as I could get used to going on a rampage with a stun baton and killing a droid for another trophy. But I couldn't get used to the walkway behind me just vanishing and then falling to my death. Now that the onslaught of trophies is over though, it gives me a moment to discuss this first level. How is this game compared to the sequel? Let's start with the good. The levels don't feel like massive hallways that never end with enemy gauntlets. They have little side areas, they loop around, they're pretty decent at times. They have a similar vibe to an old school boomer shooter, or maybe even a short Dungeons and Dragons level. Further, being restricted to guns adds a bit more depth to the gameplay. You run out of ammo, you may need to use grenades. It isn't too shabby, until the sprawling levels become their own enemy. You see, in a boomer shooter there is usually no objective, you just have to proceed. In this, you have a sidekick, Jan, the Karen of Star Wars.
Please put your hands together. First up, the creator and executive producer, Tony Gilroy. Executive producer and president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. President of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay, well, no, the second Karen of Star Wars then. Later, I get very lost, and I have no idea where to go, until I start mashing square on a blue terminal, and apparently needed Jan. No problem though, right? Surely she can't be far. And while searching, I did get a trophy for looting a container. Amazing, you'd think. Except straight after, Jan died, and I had to go all the way back to a last save long ago. Yeah, imagine a big open level in claustrophobic areas with very samey looking rooms requiring you to find a specific person with no marker on a specific terminal with no marker. It's absolutely insane game design. Sorry, did I say insane? That could be seen as good, I mean inane. Whatever the case, I eventually work out everything and find the last 3 tiny buttons you're just supposed to know where they are and interactable somehow, and move on. I'm glad I didn't pick the hardest difficulty, or else I would be really upset at this point. You also need to get every single secret in the game in one playthrough, which for now has been simple with a text guide. And as these trophies start to dry up, so does the game, because every level becomes a never-ending slog. Do you enjoy walking through extremely dark tunnels poking rats with one of those weird grabber toys? Do you enjoy spawning into a level getting attacked by an AT-ST? I do not. I really do not like those things. And if you can't tell, unlike my usual positive trying to see the good in a game self, I'm really not enjoying it, even on normal. One little nugget of good though is that the story actually feels relevant, unlike the second game. Jan is kidnapped by a dinosaur. I always wondered what happened to the actors in that weird dinosaur sitcom. Now I know. Okay, they became Sith.
Whoa, I'm on the floor. Whoa, lots of feet. Yummy. Pick it up.
and trying to protect her, I get completely violated.
Spit.
Your efforts are in vain. Do you flee like a coward?
He then kills my girlfriend and the plot of the game is secure. Kyle is sad his girlfriend was killed by Tavion, who you may remember if you watched my Jedi Academy video, and so he goes to become a Jedi to get revenge. I don't really understand anything about what's happening, to be honest. I just know Kyle gets blasted by a beam of light at this point, and now he's a Jedi and we get another trophy. When in doubt, get blasted. But you know what? I really want to give the game a chance. Okay, those first 2 levels with the awkward floaty gunplay and never-ending metal hallways weren't for me, but it's just the start. I took a break, I went outside, I meditated, and I came back refreshed to give this game the second chance it deserves. And actually I was rewarded, not with just a trophy for meeting your boy Luke Skybaby, but with fun. This level is truly enjoyable. It's a little mystical puzzle adventure in a ruin where you use force powers to progress. The gameplay feels so much better in third person with a lightsaber, and it now feels like the game has started. With the trophy for meeting Luke Skywalker in hand, we head off to do ex-Jedi killing things. Ironically, Luke tells us not to give in to negativity.
You must learn to anticipate the consequences of your actions.
Joke's on you, Luke. We are just a man with a lightsaber. Despite the game trying to win me over with a trophy for 10 secrets, I still want to discuss if the game continues to be good. In some ways, it definitely does. In fact, in my opinion, far more than the sequel. You step out into this sprawling city which feels quite open. The level is much the same, lots of little turns and alleys and ways to pick off enemies with a sniper or carefully sprint off to the next room. Further, more puzzles, such as here, where I have to use the Force to change the trajectory of this trash pile. Though, sadly, whilst this is all good, the same issues persist, even on normal. This game is really quite difficult. You are constantly bombarded by random grenadiers and snipers while having to search for that one random button or room. Do you know how long it took me to work out I had to press those switches? The ideas the game had were good, but the implementation, level design and enemy locations are so poor and unintuitive. The result is, much like the sequel, a game where you'll be saving and reloading a lot. Not just because it's tough, but so that you can test each room won't be a death room, so you can run around looking for a button. Whatever the case, you get the point. And even worse, the game has limited save files, meaning every so often you have to close the game, delete loads of save files, and then go back on the game. It's not okay. I grab the next level's secrets, force my way through it, and get a trophy for meeting Lando Calrissian, who apparently Kyle knows. Move aside, Kevin Bacon, we have Kyle Katarn here.
But the real horror is what I'm doing. And
You're a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy, yeah.
And included in the people he knows is the only chubby Rhodian in the entire Star Wars universe. This trophy sadly is not enough to stop Kyle having nightmares. He should be grateful that he isn't going through the nightmare of trying to platinum this game. At least this level gets me one step closer though, one step closer to the hardest difficulty, that is. And from this point on, it's just more of the same. Slash a lightsaber, save your game every 5 steps, get a trophy for pushing an enemy over an edge. And one cool thing that this game does, get to see a set piece from the movies. This is the area where Han gets put in carbonite, which is pretty cool. It's like being there, except actually you're even less there than the movie. There is also a better balance to the game than the sequel. You get powers and upgrades progressively, incentivizing you to use specific powers to solve problems. In the sequel, you just pick the best, which is heal, and you spend everything to upgrade that. You don't really choose here. If you want to survive, you use the tools that the game gives you. Doing so gets me a trophy for choking and killing an enemy. That's definitely my favourite tool in and out of the game, followed by another for vaporising an enemy by holding down shoot with the sniper. And then my first fight against a Sith. Apparently I somehow dodged one in the last level, which was just as fun, thrilling and intense as the sequel, with the slippery movement making it feel fast-paced. The lightsaber combat is amazing fun, whilst it's one-on-one that is, and 20 at once who can just one-shot kill you. This first Sith gets us our next trophy. Not soon after, on the 14th level, I welcome Tavion into my death tunnel. We get the trophy for defeating her, then make the stupid choice to be a good guy and save the terrorist Sith wannabe. We definitely won't regret that, will we? Hide behind the pillars and just keep using lightning. If you try to fight her legitimately, you will die instantly, so don't. And then, as soon as I started enjoying the game, level 15 slaps me in the face, because on this level, you have to confusingly, with no sense of direction, no prompts to know what doors can open, and no logic, jump between elevator shafts looking for little gaps to weasel your way through. It was at this point I just gave up on the game. Some levels I did find fun, the combat was decent enough to make me happy, but the level design, no. This level required me following the gameplay guide by a wonderful YouTuber called Lightning Bolt Forever. Seriously, if you are crazy enough to go for this game like me, you better play along with him, because if you can do this game without a guide, you are the next in line for Mensa. And after using Lightning's YouTube guide, I've been having a lot more fun and blasting through levels. The end of mission 17 gets the next trophy for, I think, stealing the Sith dinosaur's ship. Now, for some reason during the next mission, Kyle decides to start up his rap career. Sith beat, bro. And with it, he's ready to impress Jan. That's right, she is actually alive, and Kyle was freaking out over nothing. We press the button for the cell. That same button ends the cutscene that should be an emotional and dramatic, introduction, and instead we are faced or suffered with Kyle's tight little Jedi cheeks. At least there's a trophy, but still, get it? Because I said, yeah, okay, even Jan agrees that pun isn't it, because she stands in the doorway and, well, rescue success? Okay, let's try that again. Just have to take out this guard and...
You can't escape.
Get him!
Well, forget that. Eventually, we save the Jedi's Asian waifu and take out the Space Warlord to claim her as our own, getting us a trophy. Despite killing Jan a good few times, it doesn't stop her having neck movements with Kyle.
Nice, Jedi.
Speaking of movements, they ain't fun on the next level, where you mindlessly walk around a massive swamp that looks exactly the same everywhere, with random little caves to find. Whilst the level is awful, I do get a trophy for jumping and force pulling enemies. The next level, I get a trophy I somehow didn't get in a previous level, so don't worry if a trophy bugs out for you, you will be fine, for killing an ATST, which is also much more fun when you're also in a giant killing machine. I then run around mopping up secrets without even realising I find the last one. Right before a rocket finds my face. Either way, blitzing through the last few levels, I find the big bad dinosaur boy with his tiny little heroin addict hands, and well, to be honest, the trophy for killing him was easy. Once I put down Seeker droids, he just got so confused I could just slap him on the back. It's just another failed actor turned to drugs. Kyle then gets some more head movements with Jan, and I get another trophy for finishing the game on normal. I felt empty though, because I realised I messed up badly. Why did I pick normal? Now I have to play through the entire game again on Jedi Master. Or do I?
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
See, I was a smarty pants this time. I knew I could beat this game on Sith Master, no issue. I did it with a sequel, which is tougher. So, I wanted to give this game a good go on the difficulty it's meant to be played on, to see what the developers considered the real Jedi Outcast experience. So now, you get to see the, not real experience. This is the normal way trophy hunters play this game. You could say that this method is a power which many see as unnatural. On the main menu, select New Game, select Jedi Master. Do not press begin, instead press up down, L3, R3, L3, R3, and then warp to Yavin Final. Once in the level, do the same buttons on the pause screen, activate no clip, give yourself God mode, load up on the goodies and fly to the boss room. With God mode on, whittle him down, one hit at a time and keep saving until he's one hit away from death. Now, you can't get trophies while cheating, so, you know, duh. But as it so happens, if you save with the cheats all deactivated, then head to the main menu and just load up that save, the game thinks you never cheated at all. That's right, I did it. I don't care if I cheated. Nothing can stop me. The platinum is mine. I have... Oh wait, I forgot a few trophies. There we go. Yeah, I know, I technically cheated, but the Jedi Master playthrough is no different than the sequel, and if I did it legitimately, I would have ended up disliking the game even more. I wanted it to have a real chance, and a chance it got. So, what did I think of it? Did it make me or break me? Well, I think you can guess. The game grew on me. No, not like a love interest, you know, like actually like a boil or a wart, really. The game has a lot of issues. It's clunky, the camera's awkward, it's unintuitive, but you know, there is a lot of charm with some really inspired level design choices when you know what you're doing. The story is a bit fan-fiction-y, but nowhere near as bad as the second game. In fact, where the second one broke me, I think this one indeed did make me appreciate this series in a different way, and I feel it is the superior game. I did not miss Jedi Academy, but there is a part of me that misses Jedi Outcast. Anyway, there is only 3 Star Wars games left now, perfectionists, so prepare yourself for the unexpected, and you will not expect the game that's coming up.